afternoon. How are you? Today I'm going to be doing your June 2020 tarot readings. So kind of giving you the energy of what June will be like for you. This is a pick a card video, so I have 3 piles. So you can choose between 3 piles, and this is pile number 1. This is pile number 2, and here we have pile number 3. So, in case you don't know how to choose, what I usually do when I watch tarot pick-a-card videos is I wait for the right number to pop into my head, and usually it's quite quick for me. I don't see why it would be different for anyone else. Usually the first number that pops into my head would be the number of the pile that I would choose. So, as I said, here we have pile number 1, 2, pile number 2. So if you want to pick 2, it's the middle one, and 3. This is 3, pile number 3. So I'm set up a little bit differently today. I'm sitting on my beanbag, and I've changed my hair, as you can see. I'm not wearing a wig, but this isn't my real hair, so please no comments. I know it's very different from the last video. I'm kind of a funny chick. I'm just going to say a little bit before I start doing the reading, because if I was doing a real reading with somebody, I would want to kind of get to know them and kind of get to chat a little bit. What I would say is that if I was doing a reading with somebody, whether it would be online or in person, I would definitely I would highly suggest that you take out a notebook or a piece of paper that you won't lose, preferably, and either a pen or a pencil to take down some notes. So I will try to put the timestamps, pardon me, at the bottom of the YouTube video, that this June 2020 predictions and energy video that I will be posting shortly. We are the end of May now. This is the last week in May, so I just want to say that I'm planning to, and I will put out 4 videos per month. So at the end of the month, it will be the prediction for the following month that's coming, and midway through the month we'll have our mid-month tarot reading, and then I'll have a new moon tarot reading and a full moon tarot reading. So you can expect to kind of, if you're feeling like this June 2020 predictions isn't by mid-month, if you're feeling like it's not really still the same, we're going to get another video from me, which is going to, I'm going to make another video mid-month, which is going to kind of pick up where we left off at the end of the month prior. So I know that's maybe sounds a little confusing, but you'll see as we go along. So if you have any comments, please leave them down below in the video comment section. If you do want to subscribe, I'd love that. I can tell you for sure that you won't be disappointed. You can click the little bell to get notified when a new video comes out. And if you like this channel, I hear it helps for me to be found on YouTube by other people. As I said in my first video, my name is Mo, so that's spelled M-A-U-H. And that's a shortened version of my witch name, which is Moharet. So I know I'm going on a little bit long, and you're here to see the June 2020 predictions. So I'm just going to say that there is a novel by Anne Rice, and the witch mother, the witch mother vampire is named Moharet, but because it didn't fit into, as it was spelled in the Anne Rice novel, it didn't fit into my birth number, so I had to change the spelling from M-O-H-A-R-E-T, as far as I can remember, to M-A-U-H-A-R-E-T. So that was my birth number, witch name. So anyway, oh my gosh, I'm a little bit nervous because I always get nervous for tarot readings. I don't I don't know why, I just always feel like I'm inadequate for this kind of thing, but I know that you'll see that I'm not throughout the video. And so yeah, if you have that number in your head, so remember pile 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and I hope you're ready because I'm feeling ready. So let's do this. So if you picked pile number 1, I'm gonna pick this pile up. Ooh, this is so exciting. So I wonder what June has in store for you. So as I said, don't worry if midway through June or even a week into June you feel like you need an update on what the energies are telling you from the divine, because that's how I connect. My mind is and my heart connects with the divine, and I don't know if yours does too. Perhaps it does. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos and I don't really connect with all the readings, but I know that they are very general because, I mean, I have 3 piles and how many people are going to be watching this video, right? But I feel I can get quite accurate, but you know what would help? Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. What would help would be if you, excuse me. Sorry. So what would help would be if you would write down in the comment whether or not throughout the month if this reading is helping you. Sorry, I don't want to cut my video, because if I was doing an actual reading for somebody in person, I wouldn't be able to cut and paste and edit my videos, although I did do that in my first video, but this is a new YouTube channel, so I'm learning as I'm going. So timestamps will be below, and this is the first pile. So let's just get into the reading for the first people who pick the first pile for what's coming in June and what the energies. I'm so sorry. I know you probably think that's really gross, but I actually work as a orderly at the hospital, and I change diapers for a living, and I see people pee, I see people poo, I see people throw up. I don't really get grossed out very easily, so I don't gross myself out easily either. So if you're somebody who gets grossed out, go ahead and click out, because I'm only human and I'm not, perfect. So anyways, enough said. I'm so sorry. If you're really waiting to find out what pile number 1 has to say for those who chose 111, pile number 1, here we go. So the first card comes from the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. And what card is it? Ooh. Okay, we're starting off rough here. We got the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this card in a traditional deck, but it's in the traditional deck, it's 3 swords going through a heart. So this is actually hurting my heart. This is saying that whoever picked pile number 1, you are going through something rough right now. Something that is piercing your heart. We're going to keep going with the readings. I know some people put out all the cards at once, but we're going to read it page at a time. So that's card number 1. Card number 2. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is the Ace of Cups. Sorry, I haven't really looked at this deck too much, but the Ace of Cups. So this card is telling you, if you picked pile number 1, first we had the 3 of Swords, which said that you're going through a very emotional time. And also the swords are symbolic of mental anguish. So this is something, this first card said that you're going through a difficult time, and it's most probably something that is affecting you mentally. And the Ace of Cups is telling me that you're going to get through it, okay? You're going to get through it, because the Ace of Cups is it's like the purest, it's the purest of the suits. So the cups are symbolic of emotions, and when you have the Ace of Cups, it means that your motives are pure. Okay, so if you are feeling anguish right now in your heart, and it's also mentally disturbing you, just know that you're not in the wrong. Okay, so that was the Ace of Cups. I'm sorry, I've never actually seen this card, so it was a little bit awkward to me. But yeah, that's the Ace of Cups. You can see how it would be difficult to understand what it is. Okay, third card we have for you, those who picked pile number 1, is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is interesting because you have another ace here. And the pentacles are a symbolic suit of material things. And in my podcast, I was talking about how as we're going through this corona virus situation, we are all kind of suffering. Most of us are suffering financially, but this is saying that the first card that you had was the Three of Swords. The second card that you had was the Ace of Cups, and now you have the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm seeing that this is about money, right? And the Ace of Pentacles is the purest of each suit. So the situation that you're thinking about that's causing you anguish in your heart and causing you a lot of mental disturbance, first of all, your motives are pure, and second of all, you're not doing this out of greed. Whatever the situation is that you're in anguish over, just know that your motives are pure, and if you're questioning whether or not you're just a greedy person, you're not. So that was the Ace of Pentacles. So we had the Three of Swords, we had the Ace of Chalices or Cups, and we had the Ace of Pentacles. And the fourth card for you, those who picked pile number 1, is the Hermit. So I mean, this is an obvious card, right? Because everybody is going through the situation on lockdown. So I'm seeing that you are actually keeping these lockdown rules quite well. You are actually going inward during this time, and you are, as we saw the Three of Swords, which is causing you anguish, you are going through something mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually, because you are going inward. You're delving inward. For those who picked pile number 1, you're delving inward during this time, just like somebody who stays at home, a hermit. But the Hermit is also symbolic of somebody who finds their inner light. So this card is telling me from the divine that if you picked pile number 1 and you have the Three of Swords and you're going through a rough time, just know that your motives are pure. Whatever the situation is that you're curious about, and you're not just curious about, but you're also worrying about, you're not doing it out of greed. And what you're doing right now, just to explain yourself to you, is because of the lockdown, you've gone inside yourself. What I mean by that is you're going to delve into your motives. You want to see if you are doing something wrong, but you know what? You're not. You're not, because you have the Ace of Cups, so which means that your emotions, you don't have any guilt. And you may feel guilt, but just know that you're not guilty. And the Hermit card tells me that you're doing a really good job right now, delving into your situation and questioning yourself. And you know what? Unless people question themselves, I do this too. We question ourselves, because if you don't question your motives, then how can you feel at peace with yourself? Because if these questions that you have don't come up in your mind, that means that you're not aware of them. And if you're not aware of them, that means that it's something that you don't really care about. So I would say that you doing this thing for yourself, going inward and finding out about yourself, is a good thing. So that was, for those who picked pile number 1, that was the fourth card. The fifth card, sorry, let me catch my breath. The fifth card, I hope you're enjoying this. I know I am. And I'm hoping the energies are vibing with you. Like, I know that maybe I'm saying it in a different way that you would be saying it for yourself. But, yeah, spirit doesn't lie. So just feel good about yourself, okay? Because if you are questioning your motives, you're a good person. You're a good person because you're keeping yourself on track. You're keeping yourself on track, and you're looking into the mirror, and you're saying, who is it that I see looking back at me? Is this person a good person? Am I greedy? Are my motives pure? What is going through my mind? This is how we grow and develop as human beings. So you're doing a good job. Now the fifth card for those who picked pile number 1 is the Moon. So the moon, as you know, we see it in the dark, right, at night. So the moon symbolizes our shadow self. So maybe you're discovering that you aren't Maybe you're thinking to yourself, because of the Three of Swords and the anguish that's causing your heart, perhaps you're thinking to yourself, I thought I was a nice person. Like, I thought I've always been so kind to everybody, and how could I be questioning if this is somebody that I actually like? I like everybody. I'm a nice person. Like, everybody likes me. But you know what? I used to think that way too. And I think that right now, because of this card is telling me that if you picked pile number 1, that you're actually discovering your shadow self. So you're discovering the dark side of the light person that you are. So you have a good heart, but you're seeing that, you know what, you can't always be giving kindness to everybody, because some people feed on that kindness and they use it for their own greed. So this card is telling me that you're discovering your darker side, as the moon is the darker side of the day. And it's telling me that, yeah, you're discovering your darker side. So that was the 5th card in the first pile. And now we're on to the final card in the first pile to tell you what June 2020's energies will be. And as I said, we're going to do another 3 videos in June. So if you start to feel like you need an update on what the divine is telling you, then don't worry, there'll be another video. But the last card, if you picked pile number 1, and remember, you had the 3 of Swords, you had the Ace of Cups, you had the Ace of Pentacles, you had the Hermit. What was the... Okay, you had the Hermit, you had the Moon. Sorry, I'm trying to remember without looking at them, because I want to read it as a story, right? But we go page by page, and if we have to go back and look at a page to see, that's fine. But I like to try to remember just by the visual, because it's the visual that helps me read the energy from divine. So the last card that we have for group number 1, oh my god, it's the moon again, but it's the moon reversed. And you know, sometimes I look at a reversed card and I say, okay, I'm not going to read it in the actual reverse, because sometimes it's not meant to be the actual opposite of what the card means. But you know what? This moon I'm reading in actual reverse. And the reverse of the moon is the sun. So this is telling me that this reading has helped you to realize that you're a good person. That you're not just a dark-sided person like you're starting to think. And that is what's causing you anguish in your heart. That's what you've been, you know, greed is just one thing. But maybe you've thought that you were a greedy person because you were starting to understand that you don't see everybody in a positive light. But this reverse moon card, the reverse of the moon is the sun. And that's telling me that you also see now that you have a light side, and that your light side balances your dark side. So, yeah, that's so cool. That's the moon reverse, and you had the moon right side up before. So that's 2 moon cards. Yeah, card number 18 of the Major Arcana. And this is the RWS deck that I had told you about from my first introduction video. So I feel so good about you. People who chose pile number 1, I feel really good about you. I feel like, you know, you are so much like me, in the sense that I have been discovering this recently for myself. And I have grown by leaps and bounds. And I'm just telling you, I know it's not easy, but know that it's worth it. Okay, know that everything that you're going through is helping you grow into another type of individual. You're still the same person, and your story matters, and your past matters. Everything matters. You matter. Okay, so I hope that the beginning of June 2020 is a good start to your month. And I know that you might be going through this at the beginning of June 2020. But this is just a reading to tell you that it's to give you hope that when you start to go through this in June 2020, you can remember this reading. You can remember that this is helping you to find out who you really, really are. And the divine is helping you to understand that they're protecting you. The divine is protecting you, and it's allowing you to go through this to protect yourself from people who are not good for you, and who would only take and never give back. And those are the greedy people. Those are the greedy people, not you. So, yeah, that was the reading for those who picked pile number 1. I thank you for sticking around and listening to this reading for the beginning of June 2020. Remember, I'm going to be putting out another video 2 quarters of the way through, 3 quarters of the way through, and 4/4 the way through the month. So practically every week I'll be releasing a video, but it might not be on the same day every week. But yeah, just know that there's going to be another video for you if you want to kind of delve further into the divine. Thank you, and I hope you have a good day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Take care. Bye. Woo, that was an intense reading. Oh my god. Oh wow. It takes a lot out of me to read those kind of cards and to say these kind of things, but let's get right into those who picked pile number 2. So if you picked pile number 2, sorry, I'm super excited. Ooh, okay, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I can actually keep reading because my mind starts to hurt me, but don't feel bad because I'm doing this because I love doing this. I love reading tarot, and nobody wants to pay me to read tarot because nobody knows who I am. But yeah, you can be the judge. If this tarot reading resonates with you, let me know if you want. Drop a comment down below, like this video, and yeah. That's all there is to that. So let's get right into reading for people who picked pile number 2. So the first card we have for pile number 2. Oh my gosh, we got the sun. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. That's the sun. The sun. Oh my gosh. Wow. So I can tell that you're a happy person. I guess we all know that the sun brings life, and so you're a happy person, definitely. You're a positive person. You love life. You're feeling free. You're feeling good at the beginning of June 2020. Okay, you're radiating positivity. You're radiating light. You're protected by the light. You're protected by the divine. You see, there's 4 birds, and 2 of them are flying outward. Actually, all 4 of them are flying outwards. So there's 4 birds flying outwards, away from the sun. So I'm kind of getting the idea from this card as well that you radiate positivity, but you know what? Some people don't like that, right? Some people can't stand when people are happy. So birds are usually a great animal, but I mean, birds are just a nice way to represent in this card for you, for this reading for June 2020's energies. And for the beginning of June 2020, you will be a happy person, but you'll be wondering why maybe people aren't, feeling your joy. People aren't, agreeing with you when you try to spread the light and be a happy person. They might not want that around them, but that's not because they don't like it. It's because they can't stand it. You see, it's different not liking somebody and not liking something in somebody's attitude and their happiness and being just repelled by it, because some people can't stand happy people and they want everybody around them to be miserable. And if that person around them is not miserable like you because you're a happy person and you're a positive person and you see the positivity and everything, if they can't have you join them in their negativity, they'll act like you've done something wrong, and they'll reject you. They'll turn away from you. And you know what? That's crappy. That's really crappy. But this card was also telling me that you're protected by the divine as well. And so I don't think you need to worry about yourself being a bad person when you see people giving you the bum's rush, so to speak, and turning themselves away from you and trying to ignore you and trying to put you down, possibly, because it's not you, it's them. So that was the first card, the sun, for those who picked pile number 2. Okay, so for, like I said, I'm a PAB, so I'm a PAB. When I say PAB, I mean préposé aux bénéficiaires. That's the French version. Look at my shirt, it says bonjour. That's the French version of healthcare workers. So my nose is kind of leaking now, so I'm cleaning it up in front of you. Oh gosh. Live and candid, people. Live and candid. So for those who picked pile number 1, we had the sun, right? Let's not forget we had the sun. And that's a major arcana card. And now we have the second cup. Ooh. But it's a good thing. It's reversed. So we have death. Death. Oh my goodness. oh my goodness, I feel like this message is starting to sound a little like something I've been through. So you see, you had the Sun card. People are, possibly some people are not taking your positivity and your light and your love and light and your sending of love and light very, very great. But you know what? This is causing you, and now that you've heard this in this reading, you see now that it's not you, right? So this Death card is telling me that in June, when this starts to happen and when the seeds start to grow for the energy of the divine, that you're going to take this situation and you're going to use it to cause yourself to bring yourself even more life and light. Because when your love and light that you've been radiating is rejected by people around you, that love and light gets reflected right back into you, because you have the divine as a bubble around you, right? So that love and light that you're trying to give to other people to make them feel good and happy and healthy and whole, that's all going to radiate right back into you from that bubble around you. Imagine a bubble around you that is like a clear mirror, like a clear mirror, right? So it's mirroring, the mirror is on the inside as well, right, as on the outside, because you can reflect negativity, but that positivity that you're reflecting outward is being reflected right back on you like a mirror. I don't know if you've ever seen those women who hold like something like a metal thing, like a tin foil underneath their chin sometimes to tan their face, so the sun reflects right back on their face. That's what the mirror is going to do for you. So this Death card is telling me reversed. Death reversed is opposite of death right side up. So it's telling me that this is rebirth for you. So this is a rebirth. So all that energy is going to come right back into you. And you're almost going to think, like, what am I going to do with all this energy? Like, I have so much positive energy. I have so much energy. So June 2020 is going to be an energetic month for you, those who picked pile number 2. So let's go on to the third card. So we had the Sun, we had the Death reversed, and now we have the 10 of Cups. And this is such a pretty card. I don't always see all my tarot deck cards because I don't always use all my tarot decks all the time for me. Like, I always do the RWS for myself. But this is a Klimt tarot deck, the Golden Klimt tarot deck. And this next card, so you had the Sun, you had Death reversed, and now you have the 10 of Cups. I'm just counting the cups. Yeah, so it's the 10 of Cups. And it's the completion. It's completion because in the tarot deck you can only count up to 10, and then we get into the, you know, the other 4 cards in the suit, which aren't numbers anymore. They're numbers, but like you have the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. But as far as counting goes, we go 1 to 10. So 10 is the completeness of the suit of emotions. Oh my gosh, you're going to feel so emotional. You're going to cry because you're going to be so happy. You're going to feel so grateful. You're going to feel so happy. You're going to wonder, do I deserve to feel so good? Why? Why do I feel so good? And you're going to cry tears of joy. And your mind, body, and soul are going to feel like one. You see, there's 4. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. Yeah, there's 4 people in this card, and they're all joined up all around them, and their emotions in those cups is like, it's like at the top and the bottom and on the sides as well, left and right. So you're going to feel in your protective light shield bubble that you want to cry because you're so happy. So I really am feeling this energy, because at first I said, well, you know, people are going to be rejecting your positivity, but it doesn't matter because all that positivity is going to go right back into your own life. So June 2020 is going to start off, it's going to start off good and bad, right? Because some people, you won't understand why some people aren't nice to you. But you will understand why Divine loves you, because you're a giver. So let's see, we had the Sun, we had Death reversed, we had the 10 of Cups, and the third card we have for those who choose to pile number 2 for June 2020 is the Page of Swords. So I would say the Page as a messenger card, and the Swords is a suit of the intellect. And so the messenger of the intellect, right? So Yeah, okay, you're an emotional person, okay, maybe you're a little woo-woo because of it, but you also have a brain, and you're not a stupid person. You're an intelligent person, and you know that people are rejecting you because they're a-holes, right? They're a-holes. They don't want to have anything to do with positivity. They just want to try to spread negativity everywhere. But this page of swords, pardon me, it's the swords. I think I was thinking about the Ten of Cups in the previous card. But yeah, the page of swords card here is telling me that you're an intelligent person, and you're gonna use this emotion. Yeah, you're gonna feel the emotion. Maybe you're gonna feel a little, woo-woo or whatever they call it when you're feeling like really emotional and in touch with your spirit and your soul and divine, but you also have a brain and you know how to use it. And that's all there is to it. So here we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so she's outdoors and she's got her emotions. So you're going to start heading outside in June 2020. You're going to start heading outside on your own, taking walks, having a good time, using your brain, continually staying in check with your emotions, and yeah, the two main emotions are fear and love, and this is the Four of Chalices. So when I think of fear and love, and then I think of those are only two main emotions, right? But this has 4 cups. So fill in the blank. Besides fear and love, what are the two emotions that you're feeling? Because I don't know what your emotions are, right? This is kind of giving me this is giving me a feeling like you're a very introverted person. She's thinking. She's on her blanket, and yeah, she's thinking. 2 of the cups are gold cups, and 2 of the cups, I don't know if you can see, one of the cups is a blue cup and one of the cups is a green cups, and they look like travel mugs right down near the gold cup where her hand is. So you see those 2 cups are kind of like, they don't look like the regular chalice cups you see on a tarot card deck. So that's giving me the impression that you yourself know what those other 2 emotions are that you deal with. Perhaps fear, love, perhaps positivity, and I don't know, maybe what's the other one? Love? Maybe positivity, love, fear. Maybe what's the last one? Come on. So you go through your emotions and you keep them in check. You keep them in check because we had the Page of Swords, which means it's the messenger of the mind. So she's really going inward here, and she's outside, but she's really using her mind to think. And so you're a great thinker. You think, and you're intelligent. So June 2020 is good so far. And the last card we had for you, those who picked pile number 2, is the Knight of Swords. So look at him charging into battle. So we had the Page of Swords, which was the messenger of the mind, and now we have the Knight of Swords, which kind of uses that mental strength to really take over and win and fight the good fight. So that's great because you're an intelligent person, and people may have been looking at you and saying, why is she so happy? Why is she so cheerful? Why is she so positive in their heads? But you know what? Use your brain. Use your brain when people do that. And this card is telling you that you are going to use your brain. You're going to use your brain, and you're just going to block off those people. Not only is that positivity going to be reflected right back on you, but you're going to put up that mental shield. And when that happens to you, that people you start to feel negativity, you're just like, why am I starting to feel negativity? Remember that that's their negativity. That's not your negativity. So you're going to use your brain, and you're going to shut off that negativity so quick, and that negativity is going to get reflected off your divine shield, and it's going to get reflected right back to those negative people, and they're going to feel even more negative than they were feeling. And maybe that sounds mean, but you know what? The world is not always a nice place, right? So, yeah. Right? Okay. So that was the pile number 2 reading. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I just want to remind you as well that there will be a reading coming out beginning of the month, midway through the month, 3/4 through the month, and at the end of the month I will have the predictions for the following month coming up. So I won't leave you hanging there. I'll come in with some more readings for you, but sounds like June 2020, you're using your noggin, you are using your heart, you are using your soul, and you are using your mind, and you've got all that in check, And when you start to think what's going on in June 2020, remember this reading and remember that you are protected, you are loved, you are powerful, you are positive, and you are kind. So, bye guys. See you in my next video. Okay, oh my gosh. Let me just take a deep breath. I don't know if you've been watching this video up until now, or if you've just clicked this timestamp time and come down into this third pile reading. The first and second pile reading were, I believe they were a hit. I hit, smashed it out of the ballpark, and I don't want to be too conceited because I always get nervous when I start to have to read for a specific group of people, but yeah, you waited it out till this point in the video, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you were too excited to find out what June 2020 energy and divine has in store for you. So, okay, I gotta breathe. Okay, I know you're excited too, so let's get into this. So, okay, so this is the end of the video. I have one last reading for those who picked pile number 3, and don't think you're going to get gypped. You're going to get just as good a reading as the people who picked pile number 1 and pile number 2. I am so stoked for this reading. I'm so stoked for you to find out what June 2020 energy has in store for you. I'm so stoked to connect to the divine in my heart, in my mind, in my eyes, and in the energy around me to find out what June 2020 has in store for you. So, oh my god, this is so exciting. I love to see the pictures. I love to read. So, okay, I'm going to calm down. Whew. Alright, so those who picked pile number 3, I have your pile right here. And, I don't want to be mean. I'm making you wait. Sorry, you're going to have to get used to my little quirks. I'm a little bit of a quirky person. So let's get into this reading. Card number 1 for you. We have the Father of Wands. Starting out quite interesting for you. I can see you are quite in charge of your work ethic. I can see that you understand both your dark and light side. Group number 3. In group number 1 and 2, I had to explain the dark and light side to people, but this reading is starting out telling me that you've been through the rigmarole. You've been through the rigmarole, you know who you are, and now you're like, let's get to work. Let's get to work. I've been through enough. My mind has been put through the ringer, and I just want to get to work. I am like this viper. I'm not afraid to send negativity right back at those people who are sending it to me. I'm not afraid to see my dark side, as they call it, because not everybody can accept the positivity, so sometimes I have to shoot negativity right back at the people who are directing it towards me. And now let's get to work. Let's see what Divine wants to do with me. So I can see that you who picked Group 3, people who picked pile number 3, I can see that you were, you maybe have a connection to the divine yourself, and maybe you clicked on this video because you wanted to see if I was legit. But let's get further into your June 2020 energy predictions. So that was the Father of Wands. Just checking again here. See, it was the Father of Wands, people. Okay, card number 2 is, oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we had the Father of Wands, and now we have the 10 of Wands. People, okay, you picked pile number 3. Maybe you're thinking, maybe you're going in reverse now. Maybe the thing is for you is that you've come to the end of your rope. You've reached this certain point where you feel like you're on top of the world, and you know what's going on around you, and you understand why people are acting the way they're acting. But this card is giving me the impression that you are starting to doubt yourself, that you're starting to go back into reverse, and that's not a good thing. So when June 2020 starts to hit and you start to question yourself and doubt yourself, just remember that I told you that you would do that you'd start to doubt yourself. But let's see what the next card is, because there's more to the story, right? Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, looks like a scary guy. Look at his face. He's not impressed. Okay, so you're starting to doubt yourself, and maybe your emotions are really, you know, extreme, one extreme to the other. So you doubt yourself, and then you feel really, really like sure of yourself, you know, and maybe you want to make money with your divine connection, right? So that's okay. That's okay. Who doesn't want to make money, right? We want to survive. But let's see what the next card has to say to us about your June 2020 energies, and how your month is going to start. So yeah, we had the Father of Wands, we had the Ten of Wands, we had the Knight of Pentacles, and now what's the next card? The fourth card in the third pile, for you guys who picked the third pile, is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, interesting. I'm kind of confused. I see that there's negative and positive in this card. I see that there's masculine and feminine. So what I'm getting is, my advice to you is, if you understand this reading just like I'm reading it to you, remember that it's all about balance, right? It's all about balance, and you need to explore your dark just as much as you explore your light. You need to explore your negative emotions, such as maybe doubting yourself, just as much as you need to explore your positive emotions, just at like feeling proud of yourself, right? And feeling self-confident. So remember that you have to, this is my advice to you, but remember, you can take it or leave it, and you don't have to do what I tell you to do. This is just my advice from Divine. Divine is telling you that when you go through hard times and when you go through good times, be grateful. Be grateful and know that you're protected by the Divine. Okay, so that was card number 4. And card number 5, for you who picked pile number 3. Okay, we have the Five of Swords. And again, we have that balance between each person holding a sword. And we have a male and we have a female. So again, it's like the yin and the yang, right? This card is telling me that you may question why you have to balance out that positive and negative side of you, that dark and light side of you. And remember that doing that is healthy for your mind. Doing that is healthy from your mind, but take the issues in your mind one at a time. Divine is telling me that you feel anxious when you think about all the things that you are thinking about. And just remember that if you need to let go of something, you can go ahead and do that. Don't harp. Divine is telling me, don't harp on the same emotion too long if it's not coming to you. Like if you sort of start to experience forgetfulness in regards to that emotion, let that emotion go past you, right? Like a train, like a train on a track, you know, like you'll be standing in the, this is just an analogy picture. You're going to be standing in the field, you know, and you're going to see that part of the track, and you're going to see the train passing by you on that part of the track, and your emotions are like that train, and you're going to see the conductor train, and you're going to see the passenger train, and you're going to see the caboose, and you know what? You're going to see each emotion passing before you, right? Imagine each part of the train as a different emotion, and you're standing in a field, so you can't constantly see all that train. It's going to pass before your eyes. It's going to pass, and the train's going to be gone. So that's just a picture analogy to tell you that when those emotions pass, let them pass. Because just like a train keeps going on that same track, you know, to go left and right and back and forth and to deliver and to drop off, and the train will pass by again. So don't think that those emotions will come by you again and you won't have a chance to check them out, because you will. So that was the 5 cards so far for your June 2020 energy predictions from the Divine through the Tarot. Ooh. That's so funny. I actually didn't realize that I had... Okay guys, this is how you know that I'm a real tarot reader. Look at this. I got the Pamela Coleman Smith, The Untold Story card that came with the deck. So it's advertising to me a story about Pamela Coleman Smith. Oh my goodness. It's a book about Pamela Coleman Smith. So I can't read that. It's not a tarot card. I apologize if you feel like you were gypped and you only got a 5-card reading. But I guess the message of this card is to let me know that I've said enough to you, that you are satisfied with that reading, and that you feel like you have what you need to start your journey into June 2020. Look at this card. It's so funny. It's almost like Divine told me I need to stop with that message, because this isn't even a tarot card. So that's how you know that it's not always you, is when Divine takes a hold of the reins and it says, enough, too far, that's too far if you go any farther than that, and I'm putting a lid on this. So if you stuck around to have your June 2020 predictions from that third pile of tarot cards, I hope you feel satisfied knowing that you got this. You got this. And I feel so sad because I want to keep reading, but this card is telling me I can't. So I'll take that as a sign, and I'll stop the reading here for you who picked pile number 3. I just want to remind you that I will be releasing 4 YouTube videos a month. So I'll be releasing one in the first week of the month, probably around the first-ish week of the month, probably around, for me right now, it's going to be the full moon next. And then I'll be releasing in mid-month check-up tarot reading. And then 3/4 through the month, we'll be releasing a new moon reading. And then at the end of the month, almost, I'll be reading your predictions for the following month. So don't think I'm leaving you high and dry with this reading. I'm not. I hope you really, really enjoyed yourself, and I hope you stay well. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe if you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up, and ta-ta. Bye.